So here's my setup. This is terrifying to show my pictures like this, but I did it. This is what I'm painting. And this is where I am so far. And this is what the area looks like. There's a good vibe. Okay, so this is all for today. I'm quite happy with a lot in this painting, but I messed up here. So I messed up this bit, sadly. So yeah, it failed. But a very strange thing happened, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Well, I'm going to go home now, and tomorrow I'm going to add some highlights to this, which will improve it a bit, but I don't think it's good enough. But there you go. It's a bit quieter now. Anyway, time to go home. But I did actually make some money, and I'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. Oh my goodness, there's a cockroach on the floor. Okay, so I'm at home. It's maybe 2 days after I did that buskin. So yesterday I went to a mountain area, did a painting there, and you might see that in the next video. So that was good and that was interesting. But yeah, I thought this painting was going to be a failure actually. I wasn't happy with a mistake I'd made here, but I actually was able to fix it. So there is this idea that you can't fix things in watercolor, but sometimes you can. And I am thinking a bit about, this is a stone wall here, and I'm thinking a bit about having like a slightly browny orangey color here to show that this is kind of a wall and the light's catching it. But to be honest, I'm not sure I really need that. And I could like strengthen these shadows down here, but I quite like the way they look. They're kind of like getting diffused, and I like that. Just like I like the kind of diffusion here with these buildings. I could make them stronger, but I just kind of like that look. So I'm going to call it finished, and I think it's good. So an interesting thing that happened to me when I was doing my busking was a group of men came up to me. They're actually from Nepal, and they were really noisy, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is trouble, yeah? But actually one of them, he wanted me to do a sketch of his face, and that's not what I do. I do landscape. So I just said, I refused, I said, no, I don't do that. But it's really difficult to argue with a drunk person, yeah? And so I said, okay, I'll do that, yeah? And I did this sketch of him, and he was moving quite a bit, yeah? But anyway, I did this sketch, and it was terrible, really, really bad. And he wanted to buy it, and I just said, no, you can have it. I was just going to give it to him. And again, he insisted, and this time he insisted that he pay for it. So I just asked for $1, yeah, something really low. But he ended up giving me $5. So, and when I was younger, because I was too nice a person when I was younger, I would have felt really bad about that. But the truth is, I didn't want to do the sketch in the first place, and secondly, I would have just given it away. But like I said, it's it's really difficult to argue with someone who's very insistent. And if you believe in the customer is always right, well then, that was right. I don't know how he's going to feel the next day when he wakes up with a hangover, but and he lost some money for a sketch that was terrible, but you know, it was his choice at the end of the day. He was under the influence, right? But anyway, a bit of a story there. And I ended up with this painting, which is quite nice. So, yeah, it could always be better. But I'm a bit like that. It could always be better. I might add some highlights here. And then I'm moving on. So that's all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, likes, subscribes, comments are much appreciated. And if you'd like to buy a painting, then there's a link in the description box. Bye for now.